There is so much going on in our world today, and it's hard sometimes to sift through what could be occurring. But one thing I've noticed that the powers that be repeatedly through signs and symbols tell us what is going on. So there is a major push right now for interracial couples, okay? All of the advertisement now is showing you mixed races, which I hate to use that term because really, y'all, there is no mixed, okay? It's just different shades of human. Hue, get it? H-U-E, hue, color. But anyway, for the sake of the video, what is occurring right now is that there's a shift, okay? And it has a lot to do with the geomagnetic field that covers our surroundings here on Earth. And every 200 to 300,000 years, this field starts to get thin. Now, this field is responsible for keeping the debris out from outer space. Because if it didn't, what would happen is that more debris would crash in and upset the balance of the technology here. It would flip also the weather, and it's going to make life unbearable for humans. The other thing that occurs if the geomagnetic field begins to break down is that we are now susceptible to higher radiation levels. And so now, because it happens all the time, there's a push to start mixing the melanin of the darker hued ones with the lighter hued ones, because it's going to be a little warmer on the planet, and this is a way to ensure that the coming generations will start to be of a mixed race with more melanin in their skin. So that's why you're seeing the push, okay? Now, there's a lot of debate about whether the poles are going to flip or not anytime soon. There was talk about several tectonic plates shifting under the earth, and that's why you see more volcanoes and very erratic weather patterns. So what I also noticed is that JCole has a new album out, and there's a song called Middlechild, and he opens up in the opening scene covered in mud, like it's dark. Something has occurred that looks apocalyptic. So you see the skies, there's lots of darkness around him. He seems to be by himself, as if the world has ended, okay? So, you know, he's telling his story. He's talking a lot about fake versus real. And then when you open up again, there's a stage and there's people behind him applauding him. So he's showing us the illusion. Now, it goes directly to a morgue scene tying into the apocalypse, and all you see are the sheets covering bodies with bloody shoes or muddy shoes, indicating that everyone is the same at the end of the day. So we have to stop the separating. We have to stop the division that's occurring. Clearly, whatever calamity befalls mankind is going to affect the majority of the people the same exact way. Also note that anytime you see the red clay soil, that does indicate spiritual forces at work. Then it cuts to him in a library or lodge type of setting, looking very much like Get Out. So here's another subliminal to us, letting us know that we are in the sunken place again. He's showing us with the colors that he has on that he's the doorkeeper. He's paving the way. He's opening the doors of your mind, of your subconscious, to be able to absorb this. Anytime you see a closed off room that's dark and heavy, that also indicates the womb. So he's trying to get us to see that they are creating chaos, and it is up to us to get wiser and smarter about how to deal with them. And then they are mounted on his lodge wall. Their heads of different people, and he has different labels, you know, your favorite rapper, he has animal, letting us know once again this is a game that they play, and we are the pawns in the game, and it's all treated the same. Humans, animals, titles, it doesn't matter. We are all involved in the game that's being played here. And then it cuts into the supermarket scene, and now you're like, well, it's an apocalypse. It kind of reminds you of Bird Box when they had to go to the store, right? Find their way to the store so they could stock up on things that they needed after this apocalypse or after the outbreak has occurred. So in the supermarket scene, he is throwing up the devil's horns there. He's letting you know his allegiance. And so while he can speak to you in signs and symbols, because he is the messenger here, right? Mercury is symbolic of the number 5, which you're going to see later in a clip. So he's letting you know, especially titled The Middleman, and how he's the go-between the old and the new. He's letting you know he's the messenger. He's bringing forth the messenger, and you have to be able to see what's before you. He's telling you to get prepared. He's saying get your soul right. That's why he showed the earth. And he's saying get your body right. That's why he's showing himself in the grocery store, letting us know that we should be prepared in any event, whether it's making sure that we're in good health, we have supplies on hand in case something goes down with the grid. We need to make sure we have candles and dry foods and water, blankets, flashlights, batteries, a hand crank radio. So he's letting us know we have to be prepared for whatever is about to come. Then next we see the survivors. They're celebrating. There's a victory here. And if you notice, there's all kinds of people here. It's not just black folk. I know y'all want it to be, but it's not. I'm just here to really break this down to you. Okay. The last scene you're going to see, I'm going to talk about 2 different things. The first one is there's a meat sale. This is more blatant warning that you just don't know what's in your meat. Okay. You don't know what's in your meat. It's not even meat. That's why I don't even understand why people bother fighting over whether you should be a vegan or not, because everything is fake. Everything is fake. And yes, they're harvesting organs, right? And like I said in the beginning of the video, the darker hued people are like, basically, they're like Jesus. They are Jesus. They are here to save humanity by the mixing of the blood. But now you see this lady here, and she's lighter hued. She's wearing camouflage. So she's telling you that there's something coming. But most people will look at this and say, oh, there's a race war coming. It has nothing to do with black and white. It has everything to do with survival of the fittest. And so what does she pick up in the meat section? She picks up a mass of a black woman. And everyone, of course, is saying, oh, my God, they want to be like us. They want to be like this. They want our nose and our lips and our butt. It has nothing to do with that. They want the melanin. They understand that the original humans that were found here were darker hued, and they were able to survive the Earth's climate. And with the shifting of the poles and the shifting of the plates and the shifting of the seasons, people will again need to be darker hued folk. Okay, now these videos can have more than one meaning, but I always want to push you to see deeper than the surface level. Okay, because I know most people are going to see this and be like, oh, they're trying to incite a race war. Well, they're always inciting some kind of division, and y'all keep falling for it. Let's talk about the number 5 real quick before I end this video. The number 5, he shows it there. They flash this a lot. The number 5 to me is the number of man. Okay, it's the number of man. It's like the body. It looks like a body to me. And it's about change, because it comes right after number 4, which is about stability and foundation and setting up a table and having, you know, a solid foundation. Number 5 is change, okay? Because now you start to get things uneven. So it also relates to the 5-pointed star. So it's letting us know that we have the power within us to change and to put ourselves on that cross, or take ourselves off the cross, however way you need to do it, forward or reverse. But you have to understand that this is the perfect order of man, to be the center of his universe, to be his God, his savior. That's why the 5 resembles the cross, because the 5-pointed star is also the cross, because it reflects to the idea that man is supposed to save himself by right knowledge. 5 resembles a pentagram, okay? When it's the 5-pointed star, it's the pentagram. And it's a very highly favored occult number, all right? It represents triumph, mind over matter, okay? Mind over matter, because 4 is matter. So now 1 brings the head on top, okay? If you were drawing out a stick figure, right? The number 5. If you look at a playing card, I might have to insert one. If it's the right one, it will show you 1, 2, 3, 4 points and something in the middle, right? That's the head. So that tells you that this is the secret doctrine of man here, that we have to understand how to combine the physical and the mental and the spiritual so that we can ascend. The 5 is also like 5 fingers on your hand, okay? It's like the 5, elements. So it's all pointing to the fact that we are trying to get somewhere. It's the Merkaba. We're not trying to stay here. We are trying to move on. And he's letting us know that we cannot move on if we're, 1, not prepared, and 2, if we don't rise above the mundane. He's trying to get everyone to see the esoteric doctrine that is being expressed throughout the world. The number 5 represents the fall of man because we're attached to worldly things, okay? We become lovers of the physical. So that's why he's saying it is time now to go beyond that, right? We are to go beyond that. So I love this video. I really did. I think it's catchy, and the lyrics are great too. You can spend all day trying to decode these things and picking out different points, but this is what came to me, very quickly as I saw this. So, hey, let me know what you think.